Imagine a toy so simple it fits in the palm of your hand, soft, colorful, and ready to be shaped into anything you imagine. A flower, a castle, a car, or a whole world of creatures. For more than half a century, this toy has captured the creativity of children everywhere. But the strange truth is, it was never designed to be a toy at all. It was born as a household cleaner, a product on the brink of failure, until a bold decision turned it into a global empire of imagination. This is the story of Play-Doh, and it is also a story of business lessons, reinvention, and the power of seeing possibility where others see only problems. Welcome to Empire Sparks. Our story begins in the early 1900s, when American homes were heated with coal. Coal was cheap and reliable, but it left behind a messy problem. Soot from coal furnaces stained walls and stuck to wallpaper. Families needed a way to keep their homes clean without destroying the wallpaper. A small Cincinnati company called Cuddle Products created a solution, a soft, pliable substance that could be rolled across wallpaper to lift the soot. It was simple, it was useful, and for decades it sold well enough to keep the company alive. But business is never static, and every product faces change. By the 1940s and 1950s, coal furnaces were disappearing. New heating systems like oil and natural gas left little soot behind. At the same time, wallpaper itself was falling out of style, replaced by painted walls and modern surfaces. Kutal's cleaning compound had lost its purpose. Sales collapsed, and the company was close to shutting down. Here we find our first lesson. Products do not fail only because they are bad. They fail because the world around them changes. A successful business must be willing to adapt or risk being left behind. Cutel had a working product, but no market. That should have been the end of the story, but fate had another plan. In the early 1950s, a nursery school teacher named Kay Zufel stumbled across Cuddle's compound. She was not trying to clean walls. She was looking for something safe and soft for children to use in art projects. Modeling clay was too stiff and crumbled easily. When she gave her students the wallpaper cleaner, she saw an immediate spark. Children loved squeezing it, rolling it, shaping it into objects. It was safe, reusable, and perfect for little hands. This discovery highlights a second lesson. Sometimes innovation is not about creating something new, but about seeing an existing product in a new way. Where most people saw an obsolete cleaning compound, Kay Zufel saw a creative tool for children. That shift in perspective turned failure into opportunity. Zufel shared her idea with her brother-in-law, Joseph McVicker, who worked at Kutil. At the time, Joseph was only 26 years old, and the family business was sinking. But he recognized the potential. He began experimenting with the formula, removing cleaning chemicals and adding color. The plain white dough became bright red, yellow, and blue. It was repackaged in small cans, renamed Play-Doh, and launched into the toy market. Now came the hard part, getting people to notice. McVicker understood the power of marketing, especially television. In the 1950s, children's shows were booming. Programs like Captain Kangaroo and Romper Room reached millions of families every week. Joseph made sure Play-Doh was featured on these shows, and sales exploded. In just a few years, the struggling wallpaper cleaner had turned into a multi-million-dollar toy business. From this, we learn a third lesson. A great product needs great visibility. Without marketing, even the best ideas can go unnoticed. By placing Play-Doh in front of the right audience, Joseph transformed it from a curiosity into a household name. As the years passed, Play-Doh grew beyond simple cans of dough. In the 1960s and 1970s, play sets were introduced. Children could squeeze the dough through presses to make spaghetti, shape it into animals, or mold it into buildings. By the 1980s, new colors, scents, and themed kits kept the brand alive against rising competition from electronic toys. Parents bought it not only for fun, but also for learning. Teachers praised it for building fine motor skills, encouraging creativity, and calming restless children. Here lies another important business lesson. A successful product evolves with its customers. Play-Doh did not remain a lump of clay. It became part of larger play systems, teaching tools, and even therapy aids. By staying fresh and relevant, it avoided the fate of many toys that fade after one generation. The story of Play-Doh also shows the importance of partnerships and acquisitions. In the 1960s, the brand was acquired by larger toy companies that had more resources and better global distribution. This allowed Play-Doh to expand worldwide, appearing in homes from America to Europe to Asia. Later, when Hasbro took control, Play-Doh became part of a much bigger empire of toys alongside brands like Transformers, Monopoly, and My Little Pony. Global marketing campaigns, licensing deals, and tying in with television programs and movies gave Play-Doh new life in every generation. And here we find a fourth lesson. Small ideas can grow into global empires when they are nurtured by the right partners. Mattel alone could never have built the worldwide phenomenon of Play-Doh. But by joining with bigger players, the product reached heights far beyond its original scope. Collaboration and strategic partnerships can transform local success into international dominance. Of course, no empire is without challenges. By the 1990s and 2000s, children were increasingly drawn to screens and digital entertainment. Video games, computers, and mobile devices competed for their attention. Some thought old-fashioned toys like Play-Doh would vanish, but the brand adapted again. New versions of Play-Doh with glitter, neon colors, metallic finishes, and even glow-line-the-dark features kept it exciting. Play-Doh also embraced digital tools with apps and online content that allowed children to scan and share their creations. The lesson here is resilience. Markets change, technology shifts, but brands that continue to innovate survive. Play-Doh did not fight against technology. It found ways to coexist with it, keeping its hands-on magic alive while also tapping into the digital world. Today, Play-Doh is more than a toy. It is a cultural symbol. It has appeared in museums, been celebrated in art exhibits, and even been honored with its own national day. It represents not just childhood fun, but the spirit of creativity itself. And it reminds us that empires can be built not only on steel or finance, but on imagination. Think about the bigger picture. A company once on the edge of collapse was saved because someone saw a different use for a fading product. A young entrepreneur seized the chance to rebrand and market it. Partnerships expanded it across the globe. Continuous innovation kept it alive through decades of change. Play-Doh is not only a toy story, it is a business story, and a lesson in vision, persistence, and reinvention. So what can we learn for our own journeys? First, no failure is final. Cuddle's wallpaper cleaner seemed doomed, but it found new life when someone looked at it differently. Second, the best opportunities may already be in your hands, waiting to be seen in a new light. Third, success requires visibility, marketing, and the courage to put your idea in front of the right audience. Fourth, growth often comes through partnerships. And aligning with bigger players can take you farther than you could go alone. And finally, survival depends on resilience. On adapting to every new challenge while holding on to the essence of what makes your product unique. From wallpaper cleaner to toy empire, Play-Doh shows us that even the humblest product can spark a global legacy. And that is the heart of Empire Sparks. Stories of simple beginnings that grow into lasting empires. Reminding us that vision and reinvention can turn almost anything into greatness.